Let us bring in our first guest this afternoon.
Congressman Zia Alonto Adjong. Sir, magandang hapon. Thank you for joining us.
Good afternoon, Congressman.
Magandang
Yes,
hapon,
magandang
Congressman.
Good afternoon. Thank you for having me.
Yes, sir.
Uy, thanks for joining us right after you voted, ha?
Yes.
Yeah.
Ano po yung boto natin?
I think ongoing po yung votation hanggang ngayon.
Kayo po,
yeah.
what vote did you cast?
Well, I voted for D.
Hindi
Faustino
po
D
kay Kwan,
as the
hindi
new
kayo
speaker.
bumoto kay Kong Barsaga?
Yes.
Ano po?
Hindi kayo bumoto kay Congressman Barsaga?
Well, ito isa lang ho yung na-nominate. Wala hong ibang nomination.
Pasensya.
Sino?
Pasensya na, Congressman Adjong.
Nagpapatawa lang, Kong. Nagpapatawa lang. Para ma-relax lang tayo.
Well, sir, we were tossing around the question of whether or not Congressman D, we know that he's been around for quite a while in Congress, in the previous Congresses.
Three
But
terms, no?
do you think he would be able to manage 317 congressmen, considering that I think this is his first major role
national politics.
in national politics?
Well, we're optimistic naman since that, well, he's a returnee congressman. I think he served for 3
9 years,
consecutive terms in the previous
Matagal
Congress.
na.
So yes, he's already familiar with the ins and outs of the House. And as far as the current membership of the House right now, meron kasing there's an agreement, or there's a party leaders caucuses for each party. So ibig sabihin, for the support of the majority to be able to be ventilated to any of the leaders that are elected, pinag-usapan po yan in every party caucuses. So with the support naman of the House and with the party leaders, I'm sure Speaker elect D, kasi he's now presumed to be the next speaker kasi wala naman pong nomination, will be able to cross over itong transition, smooth transition of power from Speaker Martin to him as the new Speaker of the House. So I'm confident that he can be able to to push for the agenda of this administration forward, kasi ultimately naman ang House of Representatives, it's how you can build understanding between and among the members of the House so that you can build consensus and lay down what are the priorities for this 20th Congress to put forward.
Kong, kamusta ang klima dyan sa House? No? Masaya, malungkot, mixed, indifferent. Dahil siyempre, 3 years, Speaker si Martin Romualdez, no?
Before pa, 19th Congress.
Yeah, so...
Yeah, it's, to be honest with you, it's quite somber, no? Kasi siyempre, in every organization naman, pag may mga major changes, especially the head of the organization, talaga may impact talaga sa mga members, even mga regular employees. So it's an adjustment, and we understand that it's human nature, no. But we are at the same time, we are also optimistic that with this new leadership and with the support of the majority of the House, those agenda that have left hanging pa in the 90th Congress. Remember, during the incumbency of Speaker Martin Romualdez, we were able to 100% deliver all the LEDA priorities of this administration, and some of those priority agenda were overtaken by time. So I believe with the support of D, we are also optimistic that they can be finally be carried over in the leadership now of Speaker elect D. So it's quite somber, at the same time optimistic, no? Dahil in every, sabi nga nila may kanta dyan eh, every new beginning comes from somebody else's end, diba? So it's a cycle of life. It's how things naturally will go. But at the end of the day, ang pag-usapan talaga is how can we put forward this country's the agenda of this administration, and to make sure that the country would go forward as as we should, no.
Congressman, nabanggit niyo
Yes
yung
po,
yung
yes
moving
po,
forward kasi apart from leadership change, actually ang inaasahan ng mga tao is meaningful reforms, no? Emanating especially from the House of Representatives. Ano po yung pwede naming maasahan na siguradong mga pagbabago under the new leadership?
Well, sa ngayon po, it has already been initiated, no? Kasi we're still deliberating the 2026 NEP, National Expenditure Program. And one of the major changes which the past speaker, former Speaker Martin Romualdez, initiated and introduced is to open the process of budgeting to make it more transparent for CSOs, ordinary people to be involved in the identification and yung mga dapat na mga programa, magtanong sila kung bakit kailangan itong programa, mag-introduce sila kung ano yung pangangailangan ng kanilang community up to the last stretch. No, we're hoping that in the BICAM that it's going to also be open for the public, for the CSOs to sit down, and then making sure that all the errata or probably the insertions or sinasabi nating adjustment in some entries in the budget would also reflect and will also incorporate yung mga panawagan ng ating mga kababayan para doon sa kanilang budget, because ultimately this is the budget of the people. So that's one thing, I guess, and I should also advise the new leadership of the House to carry on and continue on, kasi magandang reforma po itong sinasabi natin pong pag-o-open sa ating budget, not just the BICAM, but from the very moment that we receive the NEP, it should be open to the public. Kasi pinaka-importante talaga ho na piece of legislation and every year is the National Expenditure Program, because it speaks of the needed expenditure for the entire bureaucracy of our government. So I advise that it should be kept and it should be institutionalized.
Akong, nabanggit nyo nga nasa gitna kayo ng budget process. Maliban dun sa transparency at saka open budget process na na-propose ni Speaker Martin with the opening of Congress after the SONA, ay ano pa bang mga fundamental changes yung tingin nyo without second-guessing the new Speaker? Ano yung mga fundamental changes dito sa budget process, dito sa process ng bills, ang gagawin ng House? Dahil mahalaga yan dito sa present volatile situation natin na kayo yung tinatarget ng mga protest, no? So, anong tingin nyo yung magiging fundamental changes dito sa prosesong ito?
Well, number one, let's go back to the budget. I think it's now high time that we introduce the digitalization from the time that these programs or these projects are being requested from each department up to the time that it's collated and as a result NEP and then ipapasa po dito sa House of Representatives. Actually, may panukala na po yan and I'm also planning to file for a bill that will digitalize to make sure that kung meron pong mga errata or mga changes or adjustment, dapat malaman po natin sino po talaga yung sponsor nito, no? Para malaman po natin baka naman talaga kailangan yung ganitong klaseng adjustment sa isang proyekto sa bibigay sa isang lugar, so that we can finally make use of the word transparent. Kasi syempre kailangan din ho natin malaman kung ito bang mga adjustments na to when it comes to projects and programs, if the budget reaches the BICAM, talagang this is based on the actual need of the community, no? Para po makita natin kung ano ba talaga yung dapat na continuously na pupondohan ng ating gobyerno, no? Kasi sa ngayon, itong mga issue ng mga arata, in fact, I'm pretty sure you're aware of this. Itong couple of weeks ago, meron pang request no less than the President to review the budget of the Public Works and Highways. Remember, we had the initial budget briefing last week. And when Vince Dizon presented the budget, sabi niya, I cannot defend that because that's not my budget. So we had to give him some more time to review his budget and then make some necessary changes. So I guess kailangan talaga natin ma-institutionalize yung digitalization so that we can not only track down with the request of each budget entries from each departments of each sponsors, but as well as to make sure that the changes or the adjustments once we receive the NEP should also reflect and should not be changed and should be shown to the public. Kasi nakasecure na po yan through digital imprint.
Yeah.
So I think that's one that we we really need to institutionalize. No, kung gusto talaga natin na itong budget natin na to ay budget talaga ng ating taong bayan.
Congressman Adyong, I know you're keen to move on. You're looking forward to the future, to the reforms, pero I just want to backtrack a little bit and talk about what
Yeah.
just happened with the leadership change in the House, kasi there are some gaps in the story that I'm not seeing. I interviewed you on the big story, I think maybe 7-8 days ago, and at that time, you were saying that all of you are solidly behind Speaker Martin Romualdez, and there's no coup, there's no talks of leadership change at that time. After I spoke to you, we also spoke to other congressmen, all of whom said, no, that's just rumors. It's not true that the House is thinking of a leadership change. So what happened there?
Well,
Bakit
there's no
biglaan?
coup kasi the president the speakers stepped down. Hindi naman he was not ousted, he was not outvoted by anyone. It was his personal decision to step aside and allow someone else to take the helm, leadership of the House of Representatives. So there's no coup. There are quite a few who are, who ambition na gusto nila maging speaker. I'm sure tinanong nga ako ni Sir Llamas kung sino yung binoto ko ba, yung isa. Kasi isa yun sa very clear na talagang gusto niya maging speaker, si Congressman Kiko Berganza, but no one nominated him. So in terms of people aiming for the leadership, I think there are quite few members na who are also ambitioning to be the next speaker, but it's simply they could not master numbers. So they could not simply just put forward their names and then master a number and then be able to challenge the current status. What we're seeing right now is actually a result of the speaker's personal decision to step down. So practically there's no coup. It was his personal decision to move and to allow to choose the institution over self, no? Para po dahil alam naman po natin talagang sa ngayon kaliwat kanan yung atake po sa institution. So he deemed it necessary that he would choose the institution above self. So that's the reason why he stepped down and then eventually for the election of a new speaker.
What about for you, Kong? At what point did you find out that he was going to do that?
Well, actually, to be honest with you, yesterday. And, I think medyo paggabi na po yun. And we were told that he decided to step down.
Pero sir, how much of a role or influence did Malacanang have over what happened today or what's happening today? I mean, I have to ask the obvious kasi
Independent branch of government.
kasi it's always been said that the speaker is elected by members of Congress majority, but he's almost always, if not always, selected ahead of time by Malacanang.
Well, I wanted to answer you with a straight and give you a straight answer, but baka maging fake news peddler ako. The reason why I'm saying this is because I wasn't really privy of how Malacanang intervened in this issue. All I know is that we, as far as the members of Lakas, CMD is concerned, we are all behind the Speaker Martin Romualdez, and there's no coup. Well, there were quite a handful of members who wanted to be speaker and challenge his leadership. But as to when, on how, and where did Malacanang come into picture, that I cannot say because I do not have any information regarding that. So,
Yes, sir.
well,
Fair
I
enough.
wouldn't really, I cannot give you a straight answer.
Yes, sir.
What's the most important thing is today we have shown that there's a peaceful transfer of power. That the former speaker Martin Romualdez chose the institution over himself, his interest.
What about-
Pero sir,
retain-
if I may, sir, one more. Of course, Congress does not operate in the vacuum. The issue is not in a vacuum. One of the bigger political elements here is the rage out in the streets right now. I'm wondering lang if you think this action today will be enough to douse or to pour water over the fires erupting all over the place, over the corruption issue?
Obviously, I think the reason why Speaker Martin Romualdez has decided to step down is partly because of that, because of the public outcry and the public, sentiment over the anomalous flood control projects. Tama po kayo. Hindi naman po tayo, lahat naman tayo ay nakikinig sa mga balita at alam naman po natin na isa po sa naging decision niya personally, kaya nga po siya nag-step down, is isa na po itong mga atake sa House. That's why he felt that in order to save the institution, he has to step aside. Your guess po in observation is quite perfectly right, no? Tama po 'yun. That would also include among the things that he has considered ay ito pong growing sentiment ng for accountability itong ating mga kababayan. But let's also look at the positive side in all of these things, no? Una, meron na pang Independent Commission for Infrastructure, no? This is also a way to support the President's call for a thorough investigation. Nagsabi nga po ang ating Presidente na no one will be spared. No? So I think it's part of him being a public servant and allowing that will of justice to move, no, without necessarily having to use whatever closeness or relation he has with the president, so that it can also be fully, the president can also fully request or allow the Independent Infrastructure Commission to go on its to operate without any selection or any reservation. So I guess that's something that we should also credit the speaker for. Na yung siya mismo nag-step aside so that whatever investigation that may happen, hindi niya magagamit at hindi naman sasabihin ng taong bayan na ginagamit ang pwesto ng institusyon na ito para para ilihis yung usapin. So we should give him also that credit.
Congressman Dia, just very quickly,
with the leadership change, may isa pang issue na tinatanong mga tao. Dahil yung impeachment ni Vice President Duterte nililink sa personal na agenda daw ni former speaker, no? Sa ngayon, meron pa bang appetite with the leadership change? Sa tingin niyo meron pang appetite ang House to proceed with the impeachment, either kung ma-reverse ng Supreme Court or kung magre-refile ng impeachment complaint kung sakasakali? Meron pa bang ganong sentimiento sa House?
Ang pananagutan po, Ma'am Ami, ay hindi po nakadepensa yan o nakadepende kung sino nauupo sa pwesto. Ang pananagutan ay pananagutan. At we were able to prove in the last Congress na meron talagang nagawang of violation, no, na tantamount to betrayal of public trust. I think that's very clear, no. We don't need to go back to the earlier the documents and the evidences that we had. And although I want to answer you give you further answers, pero may MR po tayo sa Supreme Court ngayon, so natin gusto magkaroon ng sub-judice na sinasabi po. But definitely po, we have already secured, and many of the former members of the last Congress are still members of this House, no? So I'm pretty sure should there be any issue, halimbawa lalabas po ang Supreme Court ng kanilang final decision, and again, we will wait for that. Ang akin pong posisyon ay dahil sa hanggang ngayon, karamihan po sa mga pumirma nung impeachment na yon, complaint na yon ay miyembro din po ng House of Representatives. Sure, in the event that there should be another impeachment case also to be filed in this Congress, I'm quite optimistic that they will again fix their signatures, because pananagutan is pananagutan, no matter, hindi ko nakadepende yan kung sino pong naupo sa pwesto.
Congressman Zia, what about your own future? Will you stay deputy majority leader? Do you know what's going on there?
Well, in an office like this, it's a deliberative body. Everything depends on the consensus of the members. If the majority feels that I'm no longer useful to them, wala ho tayong magagawa. Anything can happen, but ako naman ay gusto ko kung paano makatulong in whatever capacity I can support the leadership since I have already voted for Speaker D. So I am offering my services as one of the members of this House to be able to support whatever agenda he has na makakatulong sa ating taong bayan, lalo na sa aking distrito. So nothing is cast in stone naman talaga di ba? Anything can happen. But we hope for the best and we hope that the speakership of Faustino D would also be smooth and would also be more progressive for not only for the House in its entirety but for the country as well.
Kong, under the leadership of new Speaker Bogie D, magpapatuloy ba itong mga investigation nyo under the TRICOM, under the QUADCOM, etc.? Dahil
Well,
siyempre, yung mga committees na yan, nabuo yan at nailunsad nung leadership ni Speaker Martin Romualdez. Pero with the new leadership, yan ba ay magpapatuloy?
Yung sa TRICOM, hindi naman po siya na-terminate. So, as a matter of procedure and as a matter of rule, tuloy-tuloy naman po yan. Kasi hindi pa naman po talaga nag-adjourn at hindi pa na-terminate yung TRICOM. So, definitely there's going to be another TRICOM committee hearing. Kasi you have to wrap up and you really have to formally terminate itong TRICOM na to. As to the Quad, hindi pa naman ho siya nakukonvene. So, I don't know. That would also depend on the decision of the leadership. Kung ano po yung magiging takbo ng Quad na to. But kung meron pong mga resolutions pertaining to the old and yung hanging questions that were discussed in the previous Quad that I think some members would deem important to be discussed. Lalo na po yung mga sinasabi natin, yung mga, kasi according sa mga police reports, itong mga missing sabongeros are connected doon sa mga AJKs, etc. So if it also warrants, looking into possible violations of certain laws because ang Quadcom naman at saka maski anong hearing naman is in aid of legislation. Titingnan po talaga natin kung ano yung mga na-violate na batas, kailangan mo natin strengthen ng batas and to recommend sanctions to those officials or officers who have violated these laws. So that would depend on the collective decision of the House. We hope that the House will continue on this new leadership. I hope that it will continue on making sure that those crimes that were committed previously or currently being committed right now should be addressed, which should be addressed and should stop we should stop the culture of impunity. Kasi we're talking about accountability. Let's talk about accountability in its real sense. No? So sana, to answer you, give you a straight answer, dun sa TRICOM, I'm sure magpapatuloy po yan, 1 or 2 additional committee hearings. But as to the Quad, that would depend on the decision of the leadership.
The voting has just finished at the lower house. You're looking at live pictures of that right now. Hindi ko pa sure what the final number is, but safe to say, I think, at this point that we have a new Speaker of the House for the 20th
Formally.
Congress. Formally.
Yeah.
Bok, Pabo lang, one more question for Congressman Jong. Sir, what are you hearing? Will there be any other changes down the line maliban kay Speaker? For example, deputy speakers, committee heads, and vice chairman. Any changes at all? What are you hearing?
Sa ngayon po wala pong changes since na ang transfer naman po talaga ng authority ay by virtue of the speaker deciding to step down, wala namang election. So sa ngayon walang major changes or walang major adjustments sa mga committees at saka sa leadership positions. So antabayan na lang po natin but we hope the way I looked at it kasi meron pong mga party leader caucuses. So I think pretty much the leadership positions, the deputy speakers as well as committee chairmanship will still remain. Kasi allocation po yan ng 4 party seats. Yes po.
Kong?
Habol ko rin lang po, Congressman, isa na lang.
Yes
Yung
po, Baba.
yung meron kasing merong nag-initiate nung mag-release ng SALN, yung 3 akbayan members. Ano po yung mood sa House, yung majority? May balak bang mag-issue ng siguro yung persuasive statement from the leadership o kung na i-release na natin yung SALN natin. Meron bang gano'n? Ano yung reaction ng mga congressmen doon?
Of course, yung sa SALN naman, it's a personal decision naman for each member. So we cannot speak for the entirety of the House.
Yeah.
if they feel that they need to to show their salin or to ipakita po nila that that's their business, that's their concern, no. But as to whether or not some members would have to show their salin as yung tatlong akbayan, that would also depend on how each party leaders would decide on, no, kasi ito pong mga sinasabi natin dito currently sa 20th Congress, nabuo kasi yung mga party leaders caucuses. So each party would have to handle his own members, its own members. So depende po yan kung ano magiging trajectory ng bawat party leadership, no. But again, it's really a personal choice, no, for each individual congressman. So for those who show their salin, it does not necessarily mean that they are more patriotic than the ones who do not. It's not their choice to not to show their salin. So it's ganun po talaga. It's a personal decision on their part.
Kung napag-usapan natin earlier, how yung outrage, anger tungkol dito sa mga controversy sa flood control projects, ghost projects, insertions of both houses, etc., how it impacted on the leadership, hindi lamang sa Congress, kundi pati sa Senate. Parang may isa pang elephant in the room na nangyari a week ago nung naglabas ng statement si Secretary of National Defense Gibo Teodoro at Armed Forces Chief of Staff Browner tungkol sa loyalty check ng ating armed forces sa gobyerno at sa presidente, lalo na nung nagsalita yung ilang mga Duterte groups calling for a withdrawal of support. No? Yan ba ay together dito sa mga outrage sa kalsada ay nag-i-impact din dito sa usapin ng leadership change sa House? Itong mga extra constitutional threats na nagkakalat all over the place at sinagot ng Secretary of National Defense at Armed Forces Chief of Staff?
Well, lahat naman po ng nangyayari po sa ating lipunan, lalong-lalo na if we see a series of demonstration, would also call for attention of each of the departments, especially the Security Council. And we laud the DND and the Chief of Staff, AFP Chief of Staff for maintaining yung non-partisanship ng ating mga kasundaluhan. Kasi ang pinaka-importante naman talaga ho ay hindi ito mag-conflagrate itong problema na to a point na magkaroon tayo ng hindi kanais-nais na mangyayari tulad ng nangyari sa Indonesia, ano pong nangyari sa Nepal. All of us, no, regardless whether you're from this political side or that political side, I think we both agree that that's the last thing that we want to see is our entire bureaucracy crumbling down. Like what's happening in Indonesia, what has happened in Nepal. That's the last thing that we want to do. Of course, it warrants the national attention. It warrants our government, no, especially our security agencies and sectors, to look into these problems and to mitigate whatever the possible consequence of this itong mass demonstration. Kasi it happened we are in a time where our neighbors are also having the same problems, tapos nagkakaroon ng ganong klaseng demonstration up to a point like in Nepal na may namatay na. So tama lang po na ganun yung maging response ng ating kasundaluhan, kapulisan at saka National Defense to make sure to appease the public that these are just demonstrations and the exercise of their freedom to express their sentiments, no. It's also a way to show maturity of our institution, na yung Constitution, no matter how big or how often these demonstrations are, is just an expression of how matured our democracy is in this country. That we can go out in the streets, speak our piece without necessarily resorting to violence. So it's a healthy way of looking at it. This is how I looked at it, and I guess it's good that the AFP and the DND also came out with that statement. So, ito pong lahat ng nangyayari ngayon sa ating politika, bungso na nga po ito ng ating desire ng ating mga taong bayan to hold the government accountable. and to be more transparent about the government transaction as well as government services that would really affect the people on the ground.
Okay, we'll leave that there and we'll go back to the plenary hall at the lower house to try to see what the final numbers look like. But it looks like you have a new Speaker of the House. Congratulations and thank you for
Kailangan ko
joining us.
bumalik doon.
Oh my, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you,
Lana-
Congressman.
Salamat.
Maraming salamat po, Ma'am Ali.
Lana
Thank you
Del
very much po.
Sur, First District, Congressman Zia Alonto Adjong, also Deputy Majority Leader.